Hi everyone, it's Velo here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. We've had quite many new people recently, so welcome and thank you so much for subscribing, and welcome to another speed building video. It's been a while actually, but I've been feeling like building again, and this time we're building Grandma's yellow cottage. That's what I've decided to call it. Of course, it can also be a grandpa or anyone, but it's just a small cottage for one sim or two, but the scoot over action in bed doesn't work for me, so the only bed is pushed against the wall, so I can only have one sim in it, but I really like how it turns out. It's not a very big build, but it's enough for one or two sims, and there's everything you need, so it's not tiny either. But I was really wanting to do like a very simple shape of a house, so a very classic like A-frame house, quite a traditional look, and I knew from the beginning that I wanted it to be yellow, so that's what we are going with. And I do mess around with the details quite a bit, but the main shape and the color is this one. It stays the same, but I don't end up putting any balconies in there. Instead, I just do this little terrace thing at the back. That's kind of where the dining space is and all that kinds of stuff. But I was trying a lot of things and wasn't sure what exactly I was gonna do, but then I decided to keep it quite simple, so the silhouette is as simple as possible. I think I tried all these kinds of different things, but I don't leave any of them there, so yeah. But yeah, this is a style of a house that I really love. I love traditional older houses, and I love especially like cottage style homes. I just think they're super cute, and yellow is my favorite color as well, so this is definitely my style of a build. And for like the doors and windows, I ended up going with mostly base game, so the front door as well as most of the windows are just base game. I do use quite a lot of packs though, like in the details at least, so I have used Strangerville and cats and dogs in the exterior as well, but I don't think there's that much like in the house itself that you will be missing. The roof too is from Island Living, but you know, I wasn't trying to limit myself. I did get some people asking on the gallery if I could make like a base game only version or less packs version, and I'm considering it. If you want that, let me know, and if you want another house that's base game only or something like that, I can definitely try to do it. I am not very good at it, but I can try if that's something that people want. But generally, I just enjoy building whatever comes to my mind and using whatever I have, because that way building stays fun for me. So I hope you understand that. I did get some comments saying that I shouldn't build with as many packs, which I don't think that's anyone else's business than mine, so I hope it's okay. But yeah, here is pretty much the final shape. I do still close off this terrace from one side and then half wall kinda on the other side and stuff like that. You can't actually access the terrace from the outside, you have to go through the kitchen, but I thought that was kind of fun. It does limit the space a little bit because I had to have 3 doorways in the kitchen, so was a little bit interesting to do the kitchen, but I think I figured it out in the end pretty nicely. I was wanting to use a lot of things that I haven't really used that much, like this door from Movie Hangout stuff. I love it in the plain colors, and I think it's totally underrated. I just wish there was a higher version of it. And then I've used some Island Living doors as well and stuff like that, but this is very much my comfort zone in building, so it's not anything like super new and exciting, but I think it's super cute, and I do very much like the end result. Like for once I was just really enjoying building. I wasn't thinking about much anything. I was just doing it and I was having fun. So yeah, I think that's the most important thing, and I really enjoyed doing this, so I hope you enjoy watching it too. And by the way, I want to already give a big shout out to ThatLovelyOrc for taking the screenshots for this video, because after I had finished building this, I was tired and I don't like taking screenshots. Like I said, I like to have just fun. I just like to have fun in build mode, and taking screenshots of builds isn't fun for me. Like, I don't know why, but I don't like it very much. So I do it for videos because it's a thing that you should do, I guess. I like having them in videos, but I don't want to take them. But I asked on Twitter, and ThatLovelyOrc agreed to take my screenshots, and they're really great. I used one of them in the thumbnail as well, so you've seen one of them, and the rest are in the end. She also has a YouTube channel. I will link it down below. Just thought that I would share like the love a little bit, because I think this community is great in that way, that I can go on Twitter and be like, I don't want to do screenshots, and someone will do it for me, just not asking any questions. That sounds suspicious, but you know, we do things for each other and we don't expect like anything big to come out of it. Like, at least I don't. Like, I try to always help others in the ways I can that isn't taking away from me and stuff like that, and I feel like this community is very good at that overall. So I don't know, I just wanted to say that, and yeah, I will link her channel down below because you should totally check her out. Now we are on to the kitchen, and like I said, it was a little bit interesting to furnish, but I decided that I wanted to have this very old-fashioned stove, so I kind of built it myself. I used this in-game stove as the functional part, so it is usable, and I did test it, but I also built this half-wall system around it to make it look like it's a bigger fireplace with like where you actually burn wood, and then you can cook while also keeping the house warm, because that's very common in houses like this, especially in the north, like in Finland where I live, and other Nordic countries. You have to keep a fire in the house to keep it warm during winter, so often there's like a very big fireplace in the kitchen that was also used for cooking. And then I decided to add these like wall decor stones in the kitchen from Jungle Adventure around the fireplace or the stove, as well as the other corner that has the fridge, so that it just looks a little bit more detailed. And yeah, I did playtest it. I ended up putting the dining chair only outside, so dining table and chairs. Did I just... oh, whatever, I think I said something really weird, but this is the only like actual dining area, but of course there's also the living room, so your Sims can eat in one of those spots wherever they would like to. I did put this table in the kitchen in the middle there, but it just acts as more surface to make the food, like, at least you can imagine that it does, because it doesn't really work like that in The Sims. But I thought that was cute, and I like to do that in mostly like rustic kitchens. And then I decided to add this little thing here so that I could fit a bathroom in the downstairs as well, or a toilet. It is just a half bath, and then the bathroom is upstairs. I don't think like a house this small needs 2 bathrooms necessarily, but I do think there should be one downstairs. So if I have room, I will put it downstairs, and then if I still have room upstairs, I will put another one there. In this case, the downstairs one was so small that I had to have 2, but I don't know, I just like realism in my builds, and this one too is very small, so I didn't think there would be need for 2 bathrooms, but it felt weird if the only one was upstairs. It would feel weird that the guests would have to use that, but you know, all that kinds of things that go through your mind when you're building. That's a whole other like thinking process every time when you're not really thinking, but you're still thinking about a lot of things. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like this whole voiceover doesn't really make sense, but okay. Then you saw there next to the staircase this little study room, and it's very little, but I think it still works, and I thought that was also something very realistic to an old house like this, to have small rooms. Not a very open plan, only the like living room is open to the entrance area and everything else is closed off, because that's often the case in older and smaller houses especially. But I do very much like this area, and I think it turned out very much like I wanted and what I imagined. So I think it looks like it's a grandparent's living room, but it's not like outdated, so it's not like super old, but it's not modern either. So that's what I was going for, so I was pretty happy about that. They do have a TV as well as a bookcase. There's also one in the study, of course, but there's another one here. They have this big clock thingy from Strangeville, as well as some other paintings from there. And then they have a few like statues of cats and pigs, so maybe they used to have farm animals or something, I don't know. I was just thinking like a generic grandparent with a very cozy home, and I did put in some like toy decor that's not actually toys, but some decor that looks like toy boxes in the living room as well. So even though there's no space for a toddler or a child to sleep, you could definitely like take the portable toddler bed, put it in your inventory, and that way visit here or something. But definitely I was imagining their grandchildren or someone, some relative who has kids would like to visit here, because that's kind of the very cozy vibe I was going for. That reminded me of like having your grandkids over, going to your grandma's place, because that used to be very important for me at least, and I think for most people who know their grandparents it is like this very nostalgic thing. Maybe it isn't, but I feel like this certain feeling of coziness and kind of nostalgia goes with that. And yeah, I don't know. Then I just made sure to not have any white walls. Actually, I added this like tapestry with some very small blue flowers, so from afar it looks pretty much white, but it has some patterns, because that's also what I kind of imagined for this grandma or grandpa. And this is the master bedroom, and well, the only bedroom, and it's very small as well. I had to make the roof part only 3 squares wide, but it was enough for me to fit a bed in and make it functional, but only for one sim, like I said. I was thinking of maybe trying to put it in the middle, but you know, there would have not been space for anything else, so I just put it next to the wall and one sim can sleep there. I don't think the scoot over option is working for most people, but I'm not sure. It hasn't been working for me in ages, so I just cannot use it like ever. And then there's just a small hallway space, and then the bathroom here upstairs. So that's it, pretty much just those things, nothing too crazy, but I think it's very cozy and cute. And I think the way I've done the upstairs this time is very nice, because there's windows on each side obviously, but then the door to the bedroom also has this glass or this curtain thing, so it's not completely like blocking the light, so there's some natural light in the hallway as well. Often when I do these kinds of rooms in roofs, it's very hard to make them have some natural light, and it easily gets very like complicated to build, but I think I managed to keep it very simple this time, so I didn't go around and just add pieces, because that's something you easily do, I guess, or what I at least do. Oh, there I put the toys in and I did put in that one like Parenthood Care Bear set. Care Bear, I don't know what those are, but there is like one functional toy as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the furnishing, and then I'm just doing the landscaping and all these kinds of details. I felt like this house definitely needed a picket fence, so I add that in, and just some trees like birch trees, and quite a detailed garden. This isn't a very big lot, so it didn't take me too long, so I wanted to have like quite a detailed garden. This person who lives here loves to do some gardening and relax outside and just, you know, live a chill life. I feel like they're a very chill person who doesn't care that much about like fame or fortune, but just living in the countryside is where I would think this is. I built it in Newcrest just because that's the easiest place to build, but I think this would look very nice in Windenburg as well, or Willow Creek, but definitely a greener space, I think. And then I'm just doing this little patio thing still on the back, so there is already the dining space here, but I do still add like a little shade with some seating in there, and then I just add some like hedges around the lot to give it some privacy. And I did use terrain tools on this lot a bit, as you can see here, but it's very minimal, so your sim should be able to access everywhere without any problems. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Then I just add some more landscaping, and I think this turns out really cute. And this is a completely CC free build, and it is on the gallery as Grandma's Yellow Cottage, I think, or you can find it under my hashtag VeloSims. And yeah, thank you again to ThatLovelyOrc for taking my screenshots. Please stick around so you can see them. There were a lot, but I couldn't include all of them, but they're super cute, and I really enjoyed building this house. I hope you like it too. If you did like it, please give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out. And yeah, here are the screenshots, and I thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you all very soon again. Bye bye, everybody!